ritual and a mysterious death. A Charlotte woman went to Haiti for a spiritual retreat and never came back home.
Bonsoir. I'm the Mademoiselle and ça c'est deuxième Chanel moi. And Shortyy, shit is shaking again. Y'all, I'm about to start filming in a stationary chair because I really don't understand why this thing be jerking almost every single time I sit in it to do one of these videos. But anyways, as you guys can tell by today's title, we're going to be talking about a woman who traveled to Haiti in order to become a Mambo and mysteriously passed away. Now, first things first, my condolences to her family because this is actually a very tragic story. And honestly, I couldn't wrap my head around it until I really started to sit down, think, and do more research. So first things first, right? I'm just going to tell y'all right now, a lot of you guys are probably not going to be happy with what I say in this video, but I have to be genuinely honest so that you guys are safe and something like this does not happen to you. Additionally, understand I don't know everything. I'm saying everything through my own personal perspective based on history, research, and personal experiences. So with that being said, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, share this video. Most importantly, I do have a GoFundMe down below to help my family and I with expenses since my father got sick last year. Check that out. However, if you can't run up the video views, that will help me more than you ever understand. But of course, let's get into it.
What's going through your mind?
I guess at this point, just trying to really understand what happened to my mom.
Timothy Jackson has more questions than answers after his mom, Dana Jackson, traveled to Haiti last month but never returned to her home in Charlotte.
My mom did not go to Haiti to not come back.
He said Dana felt called to practice voodoo and went to Haiti for a spiritual retreat to become a Mambo priestess. She landed on July 1st. The two stayed in touch through WhatsApp, and Dana would often send videos and pictures, as the last message he received from her was on July 12th.
I did not hear from her, and then I received a phone call on the 22nd stating that my mother had passed away. I just lost it at work. That's my best friend. I lost it. There's nothing else to say. I lost it.
His mother's cause of death has been a mystery.
I was told that, my mom got sick. There was mention of like a stroke and then a heart attack and some seizures. To be honest, it just looks, it's in Haitian Creole. Anybody could have filled this out and given us this.
Timothy says he wants closure, but he can't have it without the truth.
I've been told so many stories of what happened. Just trying to figure out what's the truth.
To be honest, this story happened a while ago and I didn't hear about it until like a week or so ago, which is crazy. But there's loads of voodoo stories out there that I just choose not to touch because I don't want to be disrespectful to the families. However, I do understand that there are people who do go through this and they do want answers, right? They really do want to understand why something might have happened, how something might have happened. So that's why I'm making this video. So like I said, a lot of y'all are not gonna like what I gotta say, but I gotta say it. And apparently nobody else is gonna tell you, especially when it comes to Haitian voodoo, because a lot of people in Haitian voodoo are very fuck around and find out. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm like that too. But I do feel like there's certain things we can say to prevent certain things from happening to you guys, right? So first things first, Haitian voodoo is Haitian voodoo, right? It derives from the Haitian spiritual system that does include many different deities, rituals, and ceremonies from different cultures in Africa, as well as many cultures that derive strictly from Haiti. Haitian voodoo has become extremely popular, especially with the rise of social media and the rise of information. Now, what's very interesting is, like with many other ancestral practices, a lot of the things that you find online regarding Haitian voodoo are just not accurate accurate. But for whatever reason, a lot of people take them as true. And they go down their journey of, you know, trying to become part of Haitian voodoo. And in this case, trying to become a Mambo. Now, let me just say this straight out, right? It is okay to have interests that are different from your own ancestral path or your own race, religion, etc. However, you have to make sure that when you are treading into those waters, you are not being disrespectful. And most importantly, you're not trying to lead, because the spirits do not like that shit. So what do I mean by that? A lot of you guys always ask me like, hey, I want to be a Haitian voodoo this, or I want to practice Haitian voodoo, or I want to be a Hogon, I want to be a Boko or whatever. You know, can you let me know how I can get in contact with Oshun? That's not a Haitian voodoo spirit. Sure, there may be some people who practice Haitian voodoo who work with Oshun, but so problem number one. Like I said, a lot of things that you see online are not going to be accurate. You have to find someone in your real life, whether you got to travel near or far, that can help you when it comes to being initiated into these ancient ancestral practices, because ignorance will legitimately kill you. Now, a lot of y'all are probably like, well, she's black. What's the big deal? If I'm black, can I practice Haitian voodoo? Da 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 da. I know a lot of, I can't even say. I know a few, okay? I can't even say a lot. Let me not lie like that. I know a few people who've been initiated into Haitian voodoo practices, and they're not Haitian. However, they've been invited directly to practice from someone that is super close to them. It's not one of those things where they picked up a book, went to a ceremony and said, oh my God, I want to practice. Because it does not work like that. Haitian voodoo is a closed practice. You may be able to work with some deities, some Loa, whatever the case may be. But what you need to understand is, again, it is a closed practice, and every single person watching this video right now has an ancestral path that they should follow instead of dibbling and dabbling in other people's stuff. We know about witchcraft. We know that there's different sects of witchcraft. We know about shamanism. We know about obia. We know about mukumba. Like, we know about so many different things, and we all know what we shouldn't be doing. Right? Like, I'm not going to sit there and go try to practice mukumba, okay? Because that is not my ancestral lineage. Like, I ain't got no ancestors over in Brazil, okay? I took an ancestry DNA test. I really don't. I actually have some in the Bahamas, so I don't know what they practice. So maybe I would be able to head into that territory, right? I'm not going to necessarily try to be a shaman or go into shamanism because I have no direct links to it. Now, a lot of people may not agree with this. It's funny. This is where me and my father actually disagree, right? He has the opinion of, oh, well, spirits don't see color. I don't believe that, specifically because we have an island, okay, of Haiti that has historically went through racist and xenophobic actions. And you're going to tell me the spirits don't care about that, especially when a lot of the spirits evolved from the revolution? Again, you could agree to disagree, but I do feel like a lot of reasons you see a lot of people dying from these ancestral practices is because they literally go and they put their foot where it does not belong. Again, a lot of you guys might be like, well, what's the problem with someone who is African American or black from another country or another culture heading into the waters of hoodoo, voodoo, Haitian voodoo, Louisiana voodoo, or something similar? The fact of the matter is, if your ancestral lineage or your ancestral ties don't have anything to do with the specific practice, you do run the risk of the spirits rejecting you. So that goes into the theories of what might have happened. The spirits might have rejected her. Now, there's so many reasons that spirits might reject you, right? Understand that a lot of Haitian law and specifically were human at one point. So a lot of them do have human bias. That's why I said I don't agree with my dad, because at the end of the day, like, a lot of them were people. Okay, some spirits are very much, oh, give me water, give me candy, give me juice, I don't care. All right, alcohol, cigars, whatever you give me, whatever you want, you got it. All right, but there's a lot of spirits that are just like, no, your grandmother used to bully little Haitian kids, and now you're trying to sit here and be part of the Haitian voodoo religion? Get maman, l'homme à la vouzon. There's a lot of spirits that will like side-eye you like, what are you doing here? And although you may not know that about, you know, your grandma or your mom or your uncle or your cousin, you may not know about what they do in their private lives because we don't know everything that people do in their private lives. Literally, you gotta fuck around and find out. And obviously, you shouldn't be blamed for things that your family does, right? You shouldn't be blamed for the actions of, you know, people in your past, especially your past ancestors or your grandmother or your whatever the case may be. But unfortunately, that's what happens. There's a lot of things that our parents and other families do that does unfortunately become directly tied to us and will affect whatever it is we practice, and most importantly, how it is that we practice. Spirits can reject you for a number of different reasons. But typically, a lot of it is ancestral history. Another one is not practicing properly. Point blank, period. There's a lot of spirits out there that might give you grace. Like, okay, you know what? She forgot to put water on my altar this Wednesday. Okay, he keeps a messy altar, but he means well. All right, you know what? It's okay that they didn't light a candle in a month. But there's some spirits that are very much like, you got me fucked up. Like, I ain't doing shit for you, and I don't want you doing shit for me because you literally haven't left a piece of candy here for the past 2 weeks. Like, it really depends on the spirit. It really depends on so many different things. But understand that when you're working with different spirits and you're working with ancestors, a lot of them were once people. Okay? Like, and at the end of the day, as people, we all know how flimsy people can be. Another reason the spirits might reject you is that it's just too early. A lot of times people kind of just get wrapped up in stuff. You get obsessed with stuff. As someone that has ADHD, I know, like, I'll get interested in one topic and research it for 2 straight days, and I have enough to make like 10 videos on it. Okay. Like, I get hooked up on things all the time. And a lot of times, especially when it comes to spiritual practices, a lot of people get hooked. They're like, oh my God, like, I really want to know Jesus. I really want to know Freya. I really want to know this, that type of deity, powerful being, whatever. And they get a little carried away. Now, kunyayo beze fait paste. And it's like, yo, you've been Christian for 1 to 2 years. Like, what possesses you to want to become a pastor so quickly? It's so interesting. I don't want to say you can't be a pastor in 2 years, but it is a little, don't you want to read some more, learn some more, get some more experience? Actually do the other things before being a pastor. Like, there's different levels into becoming a pastor. Same way how like priests, they have like a whole school and training. Same thing with nuns. There's a whole school and training. Like, there's a lot of different things that goes into becoming a spiritual leader. And a lot of people do not know that, or unfortunately do not respect that. Okay. A lot of people feel like, especially when it comes to witchcraft, right? This is something I've talked about numerous times. I have a whole video on it. Hopefully I remember to link it down below. If I don't, just type in Chronicles of a Zoe witchcraft and you'll find it. I can't stand witchcraft only because everyone thinks they can be a witch. Back in the day, if you know, because you did your research or you know witches, witchcraft was actually tied to Satan. Yes. If you don't know that, now you know. Now it's not. Witchcraft is like one of those things. I hate to say it, but like, it's like anybody could be a witch. Everyone could be light and love and smoke some damn herbs and they a witch. It has nothing to do with Satanism or anything. Now, but back in the day it did. Now the entryway and the bar to be a witch is so damn low that it's not as respected as it once was. I mean, obviously people were terrified and they were burning them at the stake. But at the end of the day, you wasn't fucking with a witch. Now, at this point, you tell somebody you a witch, they're like, oh, you're a witch. Like, you know, like it doesn't hold as much weight. Okay. And that's because any and everybody be just trying to do any and everything. And I keep telling y'all, stop doing that shit. All right. It's okay to have different interests. It's okay to, you know, communicate with different spirits from different whatever. But when we go into practicing, okay, when we go into becoming a religious leader, you have to take that very seriously, especially when you have other people in line who should be in those places, right? There are specific people, especially when it comes to Haitian voodoo, who are meant to be Mambos, who are meant to be Bokors, who are meant to be Ogons. All right. It is not something that someone just says, oh, this is what I want to do. And you join a group or you go find someone to teach you and you become it. If the spirits don't choose you, the spirits don't choose you. Absolutely nothing you can do about it. Most of the time, that is an ancestral thing. I have Mambos in my family for days. Like, I don't have any Ogons, but I have Mambos. So more than likely, I'd probably be able to become a Mambo. I ain't got time for that. Like, it's gets to the point where my family, like, that's my nickname, Mambo. It's like, it's because I always know what the fuck's gonna happen. Like, I always know what's gonna happen. I'm always speaking things into existence. Like, it's very weird. Like, my parents could be thinking about me, about to call me, and I walk through the door. And they're like, oh my God, we just called you. I'm like, yep, I saw it when I parked. Like, I'm one of those people, right? And there's a lot of people watching this who might also have that, right? You might have witches in your family. You might have shamans in your family. You might have other things in your family. And more than likely, if they are directly related to you anyway, not by marriage or whatever, you might be in line to become one, right? One thing with my family, especially on my mom, well, no, it's actually on my mom and my dad's side, but especially on my mom's side, they do not seek outside interference, okay? They don't do readings. They don't go to other mumbos or bokors because we have enough in the family. That's what it was. I do have all in my family on my dad's side. And I'm sure there's more, never asked, but it's one of those things where, like, for us, we're very close. We don't do shit for others. We don't go to others for any spiritual whatever. We stay within the family when it comes to that. So if I was to become a mumbo, it'd be for me, not for y'all, not for anyone else, like maybe only the people closest to me, right? And again, that has a lot to do with who you are, ancestry or whatever. So when you're sitting here and you're saying, hey, I want to practice this, I want to get into Santeria, whatever, you got to be very careful, because you might be part of my family where they're like, yeah, you could do that, but you can't be doing readings for other people. You can't be performing miracles for other people. You can't be doing all that, because for us, we're a closed family in a closed practice, right? Or you might end up trying to, be a bruja, and it's like, no, you can't be a bruja. You'd be better suited as a Christian witch. Yes, there's Christian witches, y'all. Crazy shit, right? Like, it's very interesting, because a lot of people don't take these things into consideration. A lot of people don't understand, like, you really can't just up and practice whatever. This is not Christianity. Now, the beauty of Christianity is literally you just give everything up to God. You literally just pray, go to church, be a kind person, and all will be rewarded. I will say being Christian is probably the easiest thing ever, unless you're trying to be super Christian, right? Or you're trying to be a priest or a pastor or, stuff like that. But even at that, like, that is hard work, right? But in general, like, being Christian is probably one of the easiest things you can do, because God is all is God. You got a problem, you give it to God. You got a problem, you pray. And it works for a lot of people. But when we're talking about ancestral practices, you are not going to mix in the ideologies of, just walk into church and you'll be accepted. That is not how this works. You're not just going to show up to a ceremony and the spirits are going to accept you. You're not just going to go into any type of religious whatever and those people are going to accept you. Like, that's just not how this works. Unfortunately, there are guidelines that do have to be followed when you're going into ancestral practices. So I'm not going to flat out say in that regard, like, if you're a Black American or you are a Black Puerto Rican or whatever, you shouldn't be doing Haitian voodoo. But I'm just going to say tread extremely lightly. Something like what happened to this woman may happen to you. A specific loi, spirits, deity in your ancestral path. Please make sure you follow that before you try to go to other types of religions and whatever the case may be. If you are just looking into different religions, practices, and lifestyles, keep it at that. But no way under any circumstance, dibbling and dabbling in other things, one, but then two, trying to become a spiritual leader of that. Like, that is just, no. Now, that's one thing me and my father agree on. Like, yeah, like, there's no way they gonna let no white person become a mumbo. Like, that's not how that works. Unless some way, somehow, they great granddaddy was Desaline. Okay, like, that's the only way I see that happening. But again, special circumstances. There are special circumstances that may allow one person to do something, but the next person not to. Another thing that's been floating around, and I hate to say this, is that woman was used as a sacrifice. Understand, human sacrifices are heavily frowned upon when it comes to Haitian voodoo. It is not something that you are going to see often, because that is black magic. So, of course, as I say on my channel all the time, all of this stuff that y'all consistently say is the same shit is not. And I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about the outside people that click on this video knowing this content is not for them and then try to argue me down. Go argue with your mother. Most importantly, go read a book. Haitian voodoo, the occult, Satanism, Santeria, Bruja, Obia, all that, all completely different things. But you know what's also way completely different from everything that I named? Black magic is not synonymous to any ancestral practice that I just named. And it's very annoying that people don't understand that. You could be a devout Catholic and sit there and throw something bad on somebody. And that's considered black magic. Praying against someone's will, i.e., for example, oh, I pray God that this person is no longer gay. A form of black magic because you are praying against that person's will. Understood? Okay. If you don't believe me or you don't get it, look it up on your own time. When it comes to sacrifices, they are a black magic thing, okay? Not the animal sacrifices. That's something you see all the time in voodoo and other practices, whatever. The animal sacrifice is completely different. Human sacrifices are a black magic situation. Like, that's something you see in black magic ceremonies specifically to bring harm onto someone or to gain someone's power, right? Like, typically you don't see someone doing that unless it's like dire consequence because you're literally sacrificing your soul. Like, that's the best way to explain it. Like, you're literally putting your soul at risk for damnation. It is not something that you should be dibbling and dabbling into because at the end of the day, good is going to come from it. Like, you might have some good temporarily, whether it's the first week, first month, first 10 years, but eventually you're not going to get anything good from sacrificing somebody's life. Now, unfortunately, when it comes to this story, it was just very weird. Like, she had an interest in different types of spiritual practices, got into Haitian voodoo, joined a group, and then went on a trip with this group. And then some way, somehow, she did pass away, and they said she had an array of different things happen to her, right? So from an asthma attack to a heart attack to a stroke, like, it's so many different things. And the crazy part about it is a lot of y'all might just think, okay, that's bullshit. There's no way. Honestly, she probably did go through all of those things. Like, that's the scary part, because when it comes to the spirits receiving you and all of that, there's so many things that happen. Like, you're basically getting downloads from them spirits. That's why I say, right, just like I would say about a pastor or a priest, they are ordained by God. Okay, like, all of these spiritual leaders ordained by the higher power in which they serve. Okay, whether that's God, Allah, whatever. So basically, when that person is getting inducted to become a leader, they are getting a lot of different blessings, a lot of different downloads, a lot of different personalities and powers or whatever vested in them. Why do you think when you get married, the priest or the pastor says, when they say by the power vested in me, like, these people actually have legitimate power. Like, it's not just a title. It's not just something to be effed around with. Like, that's why I always say, like, damn, like, I would never cuss out a priest. I would never cuss out a pastor. I would never cuss out a shabbat. I would never cuss out an ogo, a book. I don't got no time, because these people have legitimate power. You know, like, of course we have power, you know, even if we're not, but like, they have a different type of power because they are ordained. They are picked. They have that in their path to become what it is that they are. It is not, okay, no matter what religion, practice, or belief system we're talking about, not something that people just go and say, oh, I'm interested in this, let me do it. No. Okay, no. I would assume this lady did a lot more research than the average person, and that's how she found that group and joined it and thought it was safe. But unfortunately for her, maybe she didn't watch YouTube videos, because not even just me. There's a lot of people out there that will tell you when it comes to Haitian voodoo, it is not something you mess with. It is not something that anyone can just do. Shit, I don't even practice. Like, literally, I work with my ancestors and I'll call on a spirit once in a while. But I am not inducted into anything. Like, because I just don't have time for it. I know I'm lazy and I don't want to suffer the consequences of not lighting a candle every so often. Like, it's just too much. Now, when it comes to the whole sacrifice ordeal, typically when you are sacrificed, or you use someone as a sacrifice, it's more than likely for you to gain something. Like, you usually gain a lot of power from that person being sacrificed. I have no idea what these people are doing. I don't know what they're about. So I'm not even going to say that that's what they did. I'm just offering a plausible explanation to what might have happened. Now, since this is a group of people, who knows? They might be like one of those black magic groups. I don't know. Okay, that's something that I saw a lot of people speak about. The next one was that she was turned into a zombie or made into a lugao. Now, the funny thing about this is it's likely, but not really. I mean, from what I understand, they did give the body back to the family. So, I mean, I assume that when it comes to the zombie thing, you kind of have to have your body to do it. Comment down below, because that's what I thought. Okay, like, I'm like, or maybe they just took her soul, like, you know, and that's a thing. You can, like, take the soul of someone and put it into someone else. Haitian voodoo some interesting shit. But yeah, maybe they did that. Like there's so many different things that could have happened to her. Those being the main three. You know, the spirits could have rejected her. She was a sacrifice, or she was made into a lugao or a zombie. And I will say that regardless of whatever it is, this was a very unfortunate circumstance that unfortunately happened due to ignorance. I don't care who it is. I don't care who you are watching this. Do not join no damn spiritual groups that say they're going to help you get initiated into anything. The internet is not a real place. Like, I hate to say it like that. And I know we all use the internet to connect with people and find things of our interest, whatever, yada, yada, yada. But like in this case, go to the source, okay? If you want to be Christian, right? If you want to be Catholic, if you want to be Pentecostal, whatever the case may be, go to the source. Don't just go online and, you know, join these groups or whatever that's trying to sell you something, because that's usually what it is. They're trying to sell you something. Like, go directly there, okay? Go directly wherever it is that they're trying to advertise to you. Go to a real leader of whatever it is that they're trying to advertise to you, because chances are you could have done it yourself. You probably didn't need to spend any money, and you literally saved on time, okay? With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was a very sad circumstance. Again, my condolences go out to the family. Thank you guys so much for watching. Happy holidays. Please make sure you guys peep the description box for everything that I talk about down below. With that being said, I'm gonna see y'all next time.